let's do a recap. Let's revise on the organization of the essay. First, we talk about the principles of essay writing. This is the 131 principle. If you remember, 1 for the introduction, 3 for the body paragraphs, and 1 at the end here indicates the conclusion. Now, if you have four points, so it can be a 1 for 1. Okay, all right. So next, we talked about the structure of the paragraph, and let me go through with you again very quickly, very briefly. The starter, S, elaboration, E. This is where you put in evidence, fact, example, opinion, explanation, anything that is related to the starter, and it's related to the topic, okay? And the tie-in. The tie-in is the last sentence or 1 or 2 sentences in that paragraph that comments or conclude or confirm what you started here. All right? Okay. This is just revision, yeah? Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Now, before you start writing an essay, be it for exam or for classwork, you need to plan. All right? You need to plan your essay. Okay, so what do we do when in the planning stage? Now, this planning stage should not take more than 5 minutes or maybe 8 minutes. Okay? Or if you are a thinker, you think a bit more, then 10 minutes would be best. Okay? All right. So we have to look at the question and you ask yourself, what is required in the question? What is the cue? How do you interpret the question? Okay? Is the question asking you for ways to manage something? For example, accidents, road accidents. Okay, the incidents of road accidents are very high during festive season. So how do you overcome it? So when you see how, very likely the essay requires you to talk about the ways to reduce road accident. So you need to think, you need to reflect on the question, okay? You need to interpret the question. Only then are you able to get the point, all right? For example, if the question says, eating at home is healthier than eating out. So think about eating at home, healthier than. So what does the question want? The question wants us to talk about the benefits of eating at home. So it's an argumentative question, all right? But the content is very simple. Talk about benefits. So you need to analyze the question, interpret it, get some cue, and then think of your points. So when you have your points, you create a mind map, okay? You decide on the points and you create a mind map. Now these two comes together, okay? These two come together, all right? And then you think about elaborating. That is your supporting details. Remember the E in your set formula or your set system, this is the E. You elaborate, you talk about examples, you give examples, you talk about your opinion, or you want to state some facts, how many percent of road accidents happen during festive season. Of course, if you are familiar with the topic, you have the statistics, you can put them in. Okay, but that doesn't mean you have to go around looking for statistics all the time. No, if it so happens that the topic is something that you are interested in and you know something more about it, then you can include the statistics or the facts. Okay, and finally, to write the essay, you also need to have good, suitable words or phrases that is related to that particular essay. Okay, so we need actually a good range of vocabulary to be able to write well. Okay, if you don't have a good range of vocabulary, your words are simple. Okay, doesn't matter. You just proceed with writing using the simple words or the common vocabulary that you know. Okay, the most important thing is don't be intimidated by the topic. Students who are very good, they use better words. Students who are mediocre, they use average words. If you are a weak writer, you use the words that you are most comfortable with. You should not be afraid. Okay, so we will move on. Next, we will talk about body paragraphs. No more introductions. We have done introductions, 3 techniques of introductions last week. Okay, so let's talk about body paragraphs. Right. What is what does the body paragraph consist? Okay, let's look at paragraph 1. Okay, all right. We are maintaining the S, E, and the T. I'll call this my set system. When I do writing, this is my set system. Okay, you can call it a set formula. Some teachers, they use their own formulas. They have the peer formulas or the Lear or C. It's up to you. Okay, it's just a way for you to organize your ideas. So this is paragraph 1. Now let us look at body paragraph 2 and see how different and what are the differences that we see in body paragraph 2 as compared to body paragraph 1. Okay, let's see. Oops, very, very similar, right? Using the SET. Okay, again here, this is your starter, addressing the question, okay, and the elaboration, and how we conclude and confirm. Now, the only difference is if this is body paragraph 2, you will have point 2. This is body paragraph 1, you talk about point 1. Okay, now let us venture into body paragraph 3. There you are. It's exactly the same, the SET. Okay, I'm maintaining my SET set, my formula, so that I have this idea on how to manage and handle my paragraphs. Okay, so the only difference here, paragraph 3, we talk about point 3. It's no longer point 2 here, it's point 3. Okay, right. So this is one way. Okay, the set system is one way of writing a paragraph. Okay, so if you are comfortable with this, you think this is very clear, you're able to manage this, it's not intimidating, it's not scary, then you use this set system, okay, or this formula. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Okay, look at this guy here. It's not Prince Charles, huh? Or does he look like any other actor? No, okay, right, this man is Mr. Tony Buzan, all right? If you know Tony Buzan, he's the inventor of mind maps. Now look at mind maps, yeah? I talked about in the planning stage, we have to have mind maps to organize our ideas, to compartmentalize our ideas, okay? You put them into separate suitcases, separate compartments. So look at this on health, stress, exercise, diet, sleep, and help. So, okay, you can only do this kind of mind map in class during your classroom activities where your teacher provides you with your A4 board or A4 paper and lots of colors, okay? You will not have time to do this, and you should never attempt to do this kind of mind map during exams, okay? During exams, you are under stress. So no time to do all this. But this will be very good if you are doing a revision for your sejarah, your geography, your sciences, and so on. Okay, they help you see points very clearly. Even the colors, all right? The color codes show the different points. Likewise, in my set system, I use the color code S in red for starter, green for elaboration, and my blue is for my tie-in. So you maintain colors to help you see clearly. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Right, this is the basic mind map that you would want to create, or you can create during an exam. Okay, no time for all those pretty ones. Okay, so this is what we do during time constraints. Very simple. Colors are put here just to show, for sure. Okay, during exam, you don't have to color your boxes and your rectangles and so on. Okay, right. The main idea here, question is here, and you have 3 points. Remember, when you look at the question, you interpret the question, you think about 3 points that you want to talk about. And each point, you have supporting details. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3. All right? It depends on how good a writer you are. If you are just comfortable with 1 detail, then talk about that 1 and elaborate. Okay, now this is what happens when during the exam. Simple, okay? Question, 3 points and details. Okay, so this is very regular. This is a very regular pattern. There are three sets of supporting details here. Fine. Okay, so here 2. Okay, let's look at this. Is the 1-3-1 principle. Okay, what about 1-4-1 principle? Then of course your mind map would look something like that. 4 content points, 4 details, and the elaboration. Okay, so let's look at here. Right, the main idea. Sorry, the question, the 4 content points, and the elaboration. So look at this This point has 3 supporting details. Okay, this point has only 2 supporting details. So it's okay. All right, you don't need to have a fixed, predictable pattern. Okay, it's up to you. All right, there's another one here on junk food. Okay, look at the 4 content points, the 4 main points, and for each point there are 2 details. Okay, so this is how you would plan your mind map, and you have to have a mind map when you do your essay. Okay, let's not talk about narrative yet. Okay, just for this lesson and last lesson, we are focusing on descriptive, expository, factual. Okay, basically the informational essays. Okay, let's not bring in the narrative yet. Okay, right? Okay, so to elaborate, all right, we need elaboration because we need to provide supporting details. Okay, we talked about the 5 W's and 1 H. Okay, in this picture, I have only 3 W's and 1 H. Can you quickly type into your chat what is the other W? What are the other 2 W's? See whether you know. The teachers would know. The teachers are very, very pro at this. Okay, I talked about the 5 W's and 1 H. Just type into your chat group. Do a bit of peer evaluation. Check on your friends to see whether they've got it right. Okay, at the count of 3, I'm going to show you the other 2 W's. Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Okay, right. The next, where, and finally one more, when. So these are the 5 W's. Constantly have them in mind when you want to think of ideas. Okay, constantly think about these questions. Then that's where you are able to find details relevant to that question. Okay, why is eating at home healthy? Who eats at home? All right, what does eating at home means? What do we eat at home? Okay, when do we eat? We have regular meals at home. When you are eating out, you eat every and any time you like. Okay, so constantly ask these questions so that you are able to generate ideas. Okay, you sometimes are able to generate a lot of ideas, but you will not use all of them. It doesn't matter. Just write what you want to, what comes to mind first. That's called brainstorming. Write what comes to mind. Then you decide in your mind map, what do you want to use? Okay, so you have a bank of ideas before you start writing. Okay, let's look at, okay, the next few slides will be rather compact, rather heavy, less colors. Okay, fewer colors, more writing. So I need your attention. I need you to focus. I need you to read along. Okay, all right. So let's look at this question now. We did this question in the introduction. Okay, so I'm just doing a continuation here. So we are looking at body paragraphs. Now, if you remember, for introduction, it was always short and simple. Okay, 5 sentences in an introduction. So in the body paragraph, basic paragraphs would have about 5 to 6 sentences. But if you can write better, you are a good writer. Go ahead, write a little bit more. Okay, but you have to write within the time constraints. Now in SPM, your continuous writing, you are one hour is allocated. So you plan 10 minutes for planning, and then you have 50 minutes to write. So you just write what you have decided in your mind map. Okay, so let us look at body paragraph 1. Now red, starter, okay, and the green will be the elaboration. Now you read, yeah, you have to read along to be able to feel the flow, to be able to see the content and the elaboration, and to feel how the tie-in is utilized in this set system. Okay, right. So look at the starter and the tie-in. It's sort of like pack up this whole paragraph in a suitcase, in one package. Okay, so reading provides endless knowledge to us, and you go on and talk about what you want to do, how people read, what do you get from reading, okay, right? And the tie-in, now the amount of knowledge and information we get from reading is immeasurable. So if you look at red and blue, they are sort of like the beginning and the ending, and ties the elaboration into one package. Okay, right, here is similar. one effective way to enhance vocabulary is to read. Now, if you look at this, I've used a different structure. I did not start by saying reading enhances our vocabulary. So varying your structure is another important thing to do in writing, okay? So, and then I have my elaboration, okay? All right, and my tie-in. Now, because it enhances vocabulary, what do I want to conclude? I conclude by saying if you have good vocabulary, you are able to speak more confidently, and this can boost your self-esteem. So I stop here. No more talking about self-esteem, just full stop here. Okay, now let us look at these two sentences in black that I've highlighted, italicized, underlined, just to show you. And there are two, and I would like you to think about it. Why did I highlight and why did I underline these two sentences? Okay, all right. If you look at paragraph 1, it talks about knowledge, and this sentence talks about a way to relax and to reduce stress. So you can feel that, hey, this sentence is odd. Why is it sticking out in this point? Okay, all right. Likewise for this, okay, we want to enhance vocabulary, but you are talking about knowledge and other cultures and traditions, okay? And another thing is, this line has been picked from the body paragraph 1, so there's a repetition, okay? So if you look at this sentence and this sentence, they are odd, okay? So we do not want them in this paragraph. So you have to remove this sentence, all right? This sentence does not belong here. Likewise, this sentence does not belong here. And the second crime is this sentence has been taken from here. So there's a repetition of idea. Okay, so we try to avoid repetition of words, repetition of ideas. Okay, but of course, if you see the word reading, and you'll find more reading in body paragraph 3 and so on, it's okay, because this is the word that we use to show read. Okay. All right, so certain words we maintain, we can't find a similar word. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so I would like to issue a reminder. No, reminder is too gentle. The teachers will remember, but the students won't remember. Okay, I want to issue a warning here. Okay, all right, these two fellas are actually practicing social distancing, which I hope you will when you go back to school, and I think we will be going back to school very soon, yeah? Okay, so but this is not the warning that I want to issue. So what do you think the warning is about? Okay, let's look at our body paragraphs. Okay, now remember, body paragraphs should be packed in one package, one suitcase, all right? So body paragraph 1, we have, as usual, our SET and the 3 points. The 3 details in your paragraph. Okay, so what was the warning that I wanted to issue? Yes, it's body paragraph 1 is exclusive. The content in body paragraph 1 is exclusive to body paragraph 1 only. So it's an unsafe area. So no other points should go in here from paragraph 2 and so on. Okay, so everything is exclusive. Hak cipta body paragraph 1. Don't try to infiltrate or encroach into body paragraph 1 with other ideas. Okay, let's look at body paragraph 2. Same, we use the same SET. See, now I like to use this because it creates a very clear and organized way to write. Okay, and body paragraph 3, again, repetition, same. Okay, only thing, point 3, point 2. So now when you have point 2 and point 3, remember, you do not cross the line. Okay, let each point be exclusive to the paragraph. Okay, right. Don't overstep the boundary. Yeah? No illegal immigrants allowed here. No illegal immigrants allowed here. Okay, now, so let us go back to that body paragraphs 1 and 2 on question 1. Okay, this is the edited version. I've removed this sentence. All right, and here I've removed this sentence. Okay, now I would like you to just take 1 or 2 minutes to read, really read, to be able to feel the flow of the ideas, okay? To be able to see and feel how set system is applied in these body paragraphs, okay? . Okay, right? So remove what is redundant, remove what is repeated. All right, let's move to the next slide. Okay, we're going to take a tour. Actually, this is a short break for you. Okay, let's see Tasik Kenyir. You know, Tasik Kenyir is in Terengganu. All right, it's the largest man-made lake used as a dam, and our famous Mount Kinabalu. Probably there's a little bit of a change in the outline here after the earthquake. Okay, and then a theme park. Okay, and our famous Petronas Twin Tower. Right, and then let's leave Malaysia, go to Australia, the famous wave rock. All right, the kangaroo. It's a marsupial. It's indigenous to Australia. All right, the Statue of Liberty in New York, and the famous Disneyland, and of course snow in Hokkaido. All right, so now this is just to show you that if you want to talk about places, you need a good range of vocabulary to describe places. All right, so let's look at the next question. Describe a place that is interesting. Now this is not a narrative. This is a descriptive essay. Okay, it is less formal, less heavy compared to the first essay on benefits of reading. Okay, here look at the the starter. For those who love a cool getaway from the heat of the lowlands, visiting this highland. Now this highland is not mentioned. Probably this has been talked about in the introduction paragraph. So you need not talk about the name of the place. You can use the pronoun here. This highland is a must. Okay, look at the green, our elaboration. Elaboration, I talk about all the things that we can do here. Okay, but what I mean by all the things, I'm only focusing on tea and strawberry jam. Tea plantations, tea plants, okay? All right, tea plantation. Okay, you can go to the top of the hill, endure a bumpy ride. You get a breathtaking view, okay, in an all-terrain vehicle. Okay, you know what's an ATV, right? The kind of vehicle that has big tires, huh? Okay, right. Then I talk about the strawberry jam, harvested from the farms. You can pick luscious strawberries. Okay, if you look at the green, the elaboration, because of this tea and strawberry jam, my elaboration is only about tea plantations, tea leaves, and strawberries. Okay, so there's no talking about bird watching or trekking or hiking here. So I'm still keeping within the SET. Okay, and for you to be able to experience all this, my conclusion, if you can experience all this, it will be a reward or a rewarding experience. Okay, so again, you see, even in a descriptive writing, although it doesn't look that formal, you can still maintain SET. Make sure in that paragraph, if you're highlighting only tea and strawberry jam, the whole paragraph talks only about strawberry jam and tea, not about trekking, bird watching, not visiting flowers, farm, our orchard and nurseries and so on. Okay, so be very, very sure of your content in that one paragraph, right? Okay. Okay, technology. When you see this, you know I want to talk about technology. Okay, look at the handphones here. I don't know if you have seen this before. This is really huge. This is the first generation mobile phone we had. Okay, and finally along the way it moved and the phones got smaller, right, more compact, and then later we had this phone. Okay, big screen, clear compared to the screen here. All right. Even the colors change, the size, the colors change. Okay, look at our cameras, very bulky, very huge. Okay, and then finally, very compact, slim, cyber shot that you can even put into your pocket. This one definitely cannot go into your pocket. Okay, even our cars, all right, from this shape to this shape to this shape. Okay, this is sleek, right? It's a sports car. Okay, if anyone drives this, even though it's a Volkswagen, you will say, oh no, this is out of date. I don't like it. And this is actually outdated, yes, but it's an antique. Okay, this is an antique car and it's very expensive. Huh? Okay, let's move on. Question 2, technology. All right. Act, I was discussing about technology. Technology has changed our lives. Discuss what has changed and how it has changed. Okay, if you look at this question, you have to address both the issues here. Okay, this is how your SPM questions are like now. Okay, there are layering done, expected of the students to address. Okay, layering in the question, and it's expected of the students to address what is asked. Okay, so we talk about technology, we talk about the changes. All right, so think about 3 points. I will use 131. Okay, I'm more comfortable with 131. Okay, so the three things that technology has changed would be education, communication, and transportation. All right, so for education, I want to talk about these two things as my supporting details. I want to explain further. Okay, for transportation, these two. Okay, I'm not discussing this. You can think about this later. All right. Okay. Now this actually, if you remember, this is a blown up from this simple mind map. So this is what is expected of you during exams. Only this kind of simple structures. All right. And you need not write long sentences here. This is a mind map. You brainstorm for words and ideas only. Okay, see? Simple phrases put into the mind map. Okay, right. Now, let us focus only on education. So technology has changed our lives, discuss what has changed, how the changes affect us. So we only want to focus on education in this paragraph. Okay, so I will talk about group work and online sessions. So look at the sentences. Please read. You have to read the sentences to feel the flow of ideas. Okay, and if you are while reading, you are able to pick up how come, why is this sentence here? It's odd, it shouldn't be here. I'm going to remove it. You know, right? You talk about PowerPoint, and then we are able to save a lot of time. I think this is odd. I would not want to have this sentence here. And then through creative and attractive instructional materials, okay, we save a lot of paper. And if you do not stop here, you're going to talk about deforestation and go on and on and on about deforestation. So you have actually gone out of the topic. So the S, the E, and the T. Okay, so this is for education. Okay, next, we talk about technology and the change and how it has changed transportation. So in addition, this is a transitional marker. You can add here. All right, it has changed, transformed transportation. And I talk about LRT. People used to wait for buses and they have to dig into their pockets to fish out change for the fare. Okay, travelers queue at the airport to check in. So now the change, LRT system allows passengers to use e-payment, and the pickup points, at the pickup points, they are usually very punctual. And at the airport, you need not queue. If you can, print your tickets and your boarding pass and you check in everything online. So here, my tie-in, yeah, there is less hassle. Okay, transportation there is less hassle now, and we can arrive in our destinations on time. And then you went on to say time is very precious to everyone. It's odd. Okay, I would want to stop here. I wouldn't want to talk about time here, because if you talk about time is very precious, there is a chance that you may go on to talk about time and not about transportation. So remember, pack your ideas in one suitcase. There must be a boundary. Okay, don't overstep the boundary. Okay, so this is the edited version. All right, look at the edited version. I've removed, we are able to save a lot of time, save a lot of paper, deforestation is reduced. Okay, I don't want to talk about all that. Okay, if you want to explain more here, okay, students are able to use PowerPoint and Google Docs. They are able to communicate or discuss work even though they have left school, they are out of the school area. Okay, so you can, that is logical. But to put here and to put this here, I think if you are not careful, you may end up talking about deforestation. Okay, so you will be you have gone out of the topic. So here, sorry. Right. Okay. The previous slide, yeah, the previous slide. Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, never mind. I can't get back to that one. Okay, so let's look at let's take a short break, a virtual break. Okay, a coffee break. I will call this a coffee break. You know, for the Muslims, you are fasting, so we will do a virtual coffee break. Okay. Our regular classic kopi O cup, yeah, that many of your parents and grandparents would enjoy, but I think the youngsters will say no to this coffee, yeah. Okay, then as time evolved, we had our teh tarik or kopi tarik, but do you know what teh tarik is called in English? It's actually called pulled tea, and you'll be surprised, yeah. Oxford English Dictionary has admitted that word teh tarik. Okay, so teh tarik can be used now, huh? Okay, right. Then as time moved on, we have the 3-layer tea, okay, or 3-layer coffee, and usually it's iced. And quite recently, there was this coffee, the trend of coffee art, okay? So artwork imprinted on the coffee. So you can have your face here actually. And finally, during the MCO, okay, this coffee came about. And I think you know what is it. Okay, right, type in the name if you know the name of this coffee that was created during MCO, and there was a craze going on, yeah. Many students were trying it, even the teachers were trying this coffee. Type into the chat group if you know the name of this coffee. All right, so you can help the others learn this new word. Okay, right, next. Okay, we have taken our coffee break. Now we'll come to the conclusion. The conclusion, one paragraph only. Okay, should not be more than 5 sentences actually. All right, do not have the habit of writing long conclusions. 4-5 paragraphs would be enough. No introducing new points or ideas anymore, because whatever you want to discuss have been discussed in paragraph 1, 2, 3. Okay, and it would be a good way to conclude your essay by leaving an impression. Okay, or so that the readers can reflect on the topic, or maybe the readers want to explore further about that topic. Okay, you leave an impression, leave an impact. Okay, right. So how do we write the conclusion? Actually, there are many ways to write a conclusion, but let me share with you 3 very simple ways, and it's very suitable because our exam essay questions usually within the themes, the 6 themes. Okay, so these 3 techniques of writing conclusions are very apt. Okay, you close with a logical conclusion, you state your hopes, and you provide space for reflection. Okay, so let us look at it. So again here, in the conclusion, right, you can still use the set, okay? But here, in the elaboration, no more long extended elaboration. You can sort of like round up your 3 points, or even if you don't round it up, it's okay, because you will probably round up here and you will tie in here. So we want to avoid repetition, okay? Whatever you do in your conclusion, you state it in another way, okay? Right, so here, we conclude with a logical conclusion. We provide space for reflections, get the person thinking, okay? And then, you want to state your hopes, right? We'll look at the examples now. Okay, question 4. Time management is life management. Okay, we talked about this quotation. We use this quotation in, we can use this in our introduction, but now I've used it as a question. Okay, let's look. Close with a logical conclusion. Look at how I manage my conclusion. Short and simple. Okay. Use the SET. All right. You need not repeat the 3 points in your paragraphs, but if you want to, you can just list them very briefly. Okay. And look at how I tie in. Okay. If you manage your time effectively, life will go on smoothly and you will get many things done. See, there's a tie-in, there's a wrap here. You can feel that, oh, I'm wrapping up. Okay, right, next. Question 5, save our rivers. Okay, so now when you look at these questions, you can take a cue from there. The question is save our rivers. So you want to make it happen. Okay, so you can state your hope, or you want to put down a plea. You want to plead with the readers to do something. Okay, Let us look. Saving our rivers is not an impossible task. As the saying goes, where there's a will, there's a way. So you see, I've used a quotation here. This conclusion is a little bit longer than the example in question 4, but it doesn't matter. It's still not too long. It'll be 5 sentences only. And look at my hope here. So let us start working together to make it possible. Tie in with my starter. Here I say it's not an impossible task, so let's make it possible. Okay, all right. And question 6. Okay, ways to foster harmony in Malaysia. We want to provide space for reflection. Get the citizens of Malaysia to think how to foster harmony. Okay, I'm very sure after reading this paragraph, you would start thinking, how do I want to make Malaysia a better place? Okay, so living in a multiracial, there are lots of challenges because we are multiracial, multicultural. Okay, so we want to work towards creating a harmonious Malaysia. It takes time, it takes commitment. So probably, I've talked about time and commitment in my body paragraphs 1 and 2, or 2 and 3. Okay, but look at how I present this. It takes time. It takes commitment. It's repetition, although I've been telling you don't repeat. But this is put here intentionally because it creates an impact. Short and it creates impact. It takes time. Yes, it takes time to do that. It takes commitment. Yes, it takes commitment from every citizen to be able to foster harmony in Malaysia. And finally, I'm repeating, it takes every Malaysian to make this dream a reality. So you see, when you write a conclusion like that, it leaves the reader thinking, okay, what is my role? What can I do now? Okay, so I've come to the end of the presentation. Now you please do not leave group yet. We will do Q&A after I've stopped recording. Okay, so hold on. Okay, now these are the 2 sites that you can refer to. Maybe you want to quickly take it down. Okay, the Facebook MGC KL. These videos will be uploaded. There are many videos uploaded. Okay, so you can do your revision there. All right, I've also typed this into the chat group earlier. Okay, right, thank you. Hold on,